Driving under the influence of hallucinogens, consequences, fines, and penalties, Part 3. Marijuana possession penalties. The legal status of marijuana in the U.S. is a complicated, dynamic, and hotly discussed topic. Marijuana is classified as a Schedule I drug under federal law, making it unlawful to use it for any purpose other than medical study. Thus, depending on the quantity of marijuana involved and whether the perpetrator meant to give the substance to others, possessing, growing, or selling marijuana would constitute a major felony punishable by a lengthy jail sentence. Does everything so far seem simple? Just wait till we incorporate distinct state laws into the equation. The majority of states have their own marijuana laws, many of which directly conflict with federal regulations. Although no two states have exactly the same marijuana laws, they can be broadly grouped into sets that have similar approaches to the drug. Remember that many states do not neatly fit into one of the categories. For instance, marijuana may be lawful for medical use in one state but still illegal in all other situations in another, even though it has been decriminalized in the former. 1. Unlawful. Many states still consider marijuana possession and usage for recreational purposes to be felonies and have not decriminalized the drug. A couple of these states do have medicinal marijuana programs that permit its use in some very limited medical circumstances. The consequences for drug abuse differ significantly from state to state. In some, just having enough marijuana to form a joint can result in a sentence of a year in jail. Alabama, Alaska, Florida, and Georgia are among the states where marijuana is still completely banned. 2. Illegal but not punishable. Tiny fines of between $100 and $500 are some examples of the less severe civil penalties that offenders may face instead of significant criminal charges in jurisdictions that have decriminalized the possession of small amounts of the drug. Delaware, Nebraska, and New York are among the states that have adopted this strategy. 3. Acceptable for leisure use. In 2018, 9 states, including Alaska, California, Maine, Nevada, and Washington, as well as the District of Columbia, fully legalized marijuana for adult recreational use. However, several states still have laws in place that restrict the distribution and cultivation of marijuana. Typically, the state will define the maximum number of plants that a person may own. 4. Acceptable for medical functions. Marijuana is now authorized for medical use in more than 20 states, including Arizona, New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. In these states, a doctor's recommendation or prescription is required for usage of the medication. Some of these states place severe limitations on the kinds of medical ailments that marijuana can be used to treat as well as the drug's strength. You can see that there isn't a one-size-fits-all method for controlling marijuana use in the United States. Additionally, the legalese differs widely. You might be able to carry up to 4 ounces of the medication in one state but only half an ounce in another. In case you ever find yourself in a situation where you could be tempted to try the substance in the future, it is essential to learn about the marijuana regulations in your state. You might get into a lot of problems if you don't know the rules. Even in states where marijuana usage is permitted for recreational purposes, you can never be completely safe from the legal ramifications of having any. The issue is that federal law has priority and may always take precedent over state law. Even though federal law enforcement generally stays out of state issues, they have the power to intervene at any time and take charge of a case or bring a federal case against someone for possessing a narcotic, even if it is permitted in their state. Additional hallucinogens. There are numerous more strong hallucinogenic drugs than marijuana that are occasionally used recreationally, however it is likely that you will meet them less frequently. In order to fulfill your obligations as a driver, you must be knowledgeable about these medications and their consequences. LSD, D-lysergic acid diethylamide. LSD is known by a number of slang terms, including doses, hits, microdots, sugar cubes, trips, tabs, acid, and others. This harmful substance is one of the most potent traditional hallucinogens and is well known for its high capacity to change consciousness and produce vivid hallucinations. It is typically consumed as thin squares of paper or gelatin that have been soaked with LSD and are then dissolved on the tongue or diluted in water. LSD users claim to have a distorted perception of their surroundings. They frequently perceive colors in a different way, hear strange noises, and see amazingly lifelike objects that are not there. With LSD, you might experience euphoria, vigor, giggles, and awe of your immediate surroundings. You might feel scared, perplexed, terrified, or overpowered as a result. The attitude and current emotional state of the individual taking the medicine have a significant impact on the effects of the drug.